Thanks for joining us today. Elko Live, featuring our regular update from the Elko District Bureau of Land Management. We have great guests today from both the BLM and the California Trail Interpretive Center. So Cheryl Miller is in the house. Great to see you, Cheryl.
Hi, Lori. Thanks so much for having me on again.
Absolutely. We have so much to go over, so much exciting stuff for the spring and summer, and a great recap on the big event that was held at the California Trail Center. Wonderful attendance. You guys are just the best. And guess who's come out for spring? It is Clint Mothershead. He is our Elko District Fire Mitigation, Education, and Fire Trespass Investigation Specialist. And how was the winter, Clint?
The winter was good, Lori.
Awesome.
We're looking. We've pretty much going through all of our pre-planning for the year right now, working with the other agencies and getting on the same page as far as fire. And on top of that, looking at the long-term weather that we're expecting. We're kind of in neutral conditions, so we're not really in El Nino or La Nina, but we are transitioning towards a La Nina for at least a few months this summer. And what that means for us, fire season-wise, is we won't have high-pressure ridges, as many anyway, coming off the Pacific. So when we do get the monsoons in July, there's more of an opportunity for that moisture. If the monsoon is strong enough, which we don't know if it's going to be at this point, to funnel moisture up into Elko County, which is really good for fire season. When we get the big deluges that may only last a couple hours here and there, it really tends to set things back by a couple weeks. And if we get a couple of those, it really shortens the impact of our fire season. But right now we just don't know about the monsoonal strength, the tracking. If it's a weaker monsoon, we will still get that moisture pushing up because we won't be expecting the high pressure ridges coming from the Pacific, but those could lead to more drier storms, and that's why there's a little bit of concern about strength of the monsoon right now. We might be in the middle where we get lightning on the leading edges of the storms when they come through, and we get the fires, and then we get a little bit of rain, and then we're just chasing smokes that we call natural outs, and we never really actually find them. So right now, basically over the next 4 months, we're saying on average below average precipitation and above average temperatures. So I think things are going to start warming up out there. If you haven't looked at the long-term forecast, the 10-day forecast, it's looking pretty nice, and we might even be able to hear the grass growing here pretty quick. So, that's what I know about the weather. And speaking of that and what that means for homeowners around Elko, people have probably seen that and heard locally that some folks are starting to lose their homeowners insurance, even within Elko City proper. Some of the insurance companies just see that this is a fire-prone area. So for folks that do live in what we call the WUI, the wildland-urban interface, there are some things that you can do to clear around your homes and, do what you can to make it more fire-adapted. As I say every year, we don't have enough fire trucks for every driveway, not even close. So if you want to get more information, and I will convey some of it on this interview, but if you want more, you can go to livingwithfire.org. It's part of the University of Nevada, Reno Cooperative Extension, and you can get all this information too. But basically, there's 3 zones around your home that you want to focus on. The first is what they call Zone 0. That's just your ember-resistant zone. That's 0 to 5 feet. And what that does is it reduces your home's vulnerability to embers and flames. And so what you want to do is remove your wood piles, clear out your gutters, any flammable materials in that zone around your home or underneath porches. You just want to minimize, pull it away, put it in a safer zone. If you have those combustible mulches, the ones that are not naturally colored is a good example, or those juniper-looking shrubs, they refer to those as little green gas cans. As soon as you get into summer and it gets really hot, they just have a high oil content in them, and if an ember does get in there, it just makes the fire more intense, hotter, and that would be right up against your home. And if that happened and there wasn't a fire truck in your driveway, it's the fire guys and gals probably wouldn't want to risk it to go in your driveway to do what needed to be done. So we do rely on the public to do a little bit around their homes to help us. We have something we call triaging, and that's where we look at a home with a fire's coming towards a community, and that pretty much is, a black X, red circle, kind of a coding for us to know which homes we can save and which we can't. If we come up to a home that's got grass and sagebrush right up to the front, just doesn't look like a fire came through and the house wouldn't survive on its own. It's more than likely that the firefighters are going to move on to a home that they feel like they can save, because we do want our firefighters to come home safely. I mean, they have families, they've got lives. So they do a triaging. So we do rely on the public.
So all of these cleanup tips you can find online. As you mentioned, there's that amazing website, livingwithfire.com. We have a community cleanup green up day. Oh, I should mention NevadaFireInfo.org as well. Cleanup Green Up Day is April 26th, and that's free landfill for both city and county residents. Clint?
Yes, I saw that. I saw it looks like Spring Creek is doing something too of a coordinated event to kind of tie in with what the City of Elko's doing, so that's good.
Yeah, that'll be great. Again, it's important to clear, if you can, as much as 100 feet, what's called a defensible space.
Yeah. I mean, anything's better than nothing. It's more about just reducing the fine fuels, the grasses, and any ladder fuels, which are your lower branches on your trees and stuff, your pine trees especially. If you can just take those off and limit fires' opportunity or ability to go from the ground up into the top of the canopy of the tree, that's when you get the embers that get into your attics, and that's when you get the embers into your gutters, and it's kind of how homes start on fire.
End up being destroyed. And remember, there are lots of different services now. We didn't used to have as many, but there are tree services, landscaping services. You can hire a lot of help to mitigate these dangers, whether you live in the city or the county. And Clint, you made me think when you were describing our fuels outlook for the 4 months, I did want to ask you, how much does your job or your position, how much do you depend on the National Weather Service, NOAA, for getting these kinds of forecasts? Do you work together with them?
Yes, we have a pretty good partnership. We work together. For the BLM, we're both federal, so when we do our interagency preseason meetings, the Weather Service is always there to talk to us about anything that might change some processes. We do stuff when we have fires called spot weather forecasts, where we can pull some weather data from the fire manually and call into our dispatch center who inputs it into a website. The Weather Service will actually say this is what you can expect more in that specific area at that specific elevation for the following burn period. So it gives firefighters an understanding of pre-planning of resources or pre-positioning of resources based off of wind, relative humidities, that kind of stuff.
And of course, during actual fire season, what fire conditions are. The reason I bring it up is because a lot of us we're all talking about, what cuts could mean, federal cuts to some of these agencies. And I think NOAA was one of the agencies they're looking at reducing. It is 24/7 here in Elko, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, just like fires are.
Yeah. And we have not heard anything as far as how that will impact our relationship. So we're moving forward as if we're going to be okay.
Yep, that is good news. So,
yeah.
Yes. So count your lucky stars, because we do have these serious incidents. There's a possibility of, a fire season where we could get a lot of fires that encroach on private property or certainly destroy grazing habitat, wildlife habitat.
Yes, and if people can look out their back doors probably right now and see all that fine fuel that's dead from last year. We didn't really get any snow. There was nothing to compact that down to get it to decomp. So that's going to be standing there, plus whatever we get. We have had a fairly wet past couple months, and that's just locked up in the soil. And with these warm temperatures, we're expecting to get a pretty decent grass crop. So we just don't know really what to expect fire season-wise at this point. But it's always better to err on the side of caution. That's my job, is to make the public aware of things that they can do to protect their homes. And as we get into the summer, I'll obviously talk more about things they can do to prevent human-caused fires.
Thanks, Clint. Mm-hmm. Clint Mothershead, of course, our guest today. He's helping us better understand the danger of fire, fire awareness, and how to mitigate the danger and disaster. And I know Matt Peterson, other county officials have been talking more about things like evacuation, just to get the community ready in the event of. So.
Yeah, for sure. People don't know until it happens to them. If it does happen to them, there'll be a lot of, looking back in retrospect on what we should have done. And there are lists on that livingwithfire.com where you can, they call it a to-go bag, things to think about taking, your prescription, your heirlooms, things. And it's not just about what you should take, but maybe have a plan or have that stuff kind of together. So if it does happen and you're able to get to your home, then you're able to get that stuff and get out of it, get the cherished stuff and the valuable stuff. But unfortunately, a lot of people work in Elko, if something unfortunately happened in Spring Creek, by the time people got over the summit, they might not let people into, let's say, the mobile section, Spring Creek. So that being said, that we have to put it up to the public to do what they can around their own homes. I mean, we interagency-wise, the NDF, they mow the equestrian right-of-ways throughout Spring Creek, and there's a whole bunch of those. The BLM, we have green strips that we mow around the periphery of Spring Creek proper. The county does a lot of work as well, doing the same thing, mitigating fuels and removing that, creating fuel breaks. But still, there's a lot of homes out there, and there's a lot of potential, even with all the work that has been done. And in the right conditions, a red flag warning day with low RHs and high winds, kind of hard to get around some of those fires.
Well, with that in mind, too, you can burn some of the debris around your property, but you have to follow the procedure. And as we talked about, Chief Peterson was on the radio recently. Clinton talked about the new burn permit tab that's on the homepage, and it will also provide dispatch with a really nice tool. It'll have a map of where those burn permits have been issued.
Yeah, that's a great thing. Although I don't live out there, I did kind of go through that process to educate the public, and I know that Matt does get on here and talk about it as well. But it doesn't look like it's too hard of a process. You just go to the Elko County Fire's webpage. It's on the homepage. You scroll down a little bit, and you'll see a tab for burn permit. It shouldn't take you too long. And what that does is it advises the public safety folks that someone's burning in their backyard. There are caveats, time of day, wind speed. You have to have a hose. You have to have some stuff there. But it's a tool to communicate, but also to educate the public on what they need to be able to do this stuff. And that'll prevent fire trucks from showing up in your front yard.
In your barbecue.
Yeah.
And kind of spoiling the mood.
Yes.
So, and then just along that same line, and we can talk more about this too as the season draws near, but some of the top fire causes outside of lightning, Clint, human-caused fires, right?
Yes, most of them around here, it's a area with wide expanses, and it's vehicle related. A lot are in the Interstate 80 or the state route corridors along the roadsides. And it's really about vehicle maintenance. Your vehicle's not running right, maybe get it looked at. If you're towing a trailer, trailers sit for months, a bulk of the year they sit. So check your tires. Are they weather checked? Those hot days you're driving with the trailer, you might end up with a blowout. And you got a rim on the ground. If you got a dual axle, you might not know what's happening. It shoots sparks. And the next thing you know, we get one of those roadside starts. So those are the fires we can prevent, the ones that have a human component to them. Obviously, Mother Nature does her own thing. But these are the fires that we can't prevent, and that's my job, is to educate and just kind of bring light to it for the public.
Well, thank you, Clint. We're so grateful that you do. In fact, we'll have a chance to thank you and any staff or the crew that you bring around. We have some fun events coming up this spring, and one of them is over Mother's Day weekend.
Yes, I think Chief Peterson has offered up his people, but we do work together, the Northeastern Nevada Fire Prevention Group, and at the Elko Home Show, we'll probably have a booth outside. So look for the shiny Elko County fire trucks, and there will be some defensible space materials there, and probably some Smokey Bear stuff, some stuff for the kids, and they might even get to crawl around on a fire truck, or just look at some of the tools and some of the things that firefighters use to suppress wildfires.
Clint, thank you so much for the update. Of course, as we ramp up for fire season, so many things that we can do to help keep our community safe, and appreciate the great work that you do. And it's always a pleasure to see you. Like I said, it's kind of like better than Groundhog Day when Clint Mothershead returns to the radio show.
Well, thanks, Lori.
Yes, we know spring and summer is truly we're on the doorstep. So thank you. So with that, and I know Cheryl is eager to talk about, he mentioned Smokey Bear, and we had a Smokey visit in Elko at the Trail Center.
We did. We had a wonderful Junior Ranger Day on March 8th, so just a couple of weeks ago. And I was going to ask you, Lori, have you heard back from Smokey Bear yet?
I am watching my mailbox. I haven't heard back yet, but I'm so excited. I got the cutest pictures with Smokey.
Me too. And I wrote a letter too. So I can't wait to see what I get back from Smokey Bear. We got some wonderful pictures. And I don't know if you heard, Lori, but we ended up having 151 people.
Oh, fantastic.
Come out for Junior Ranger Day, which was a wonderful showing from the community. And we had 42 letters that got written to Smokey Bear. So thanks to my good friend Clint over here, bringing all the cool firefighters, bringing out Smokey Bear, all the cool swag.
That's a lot of love, Clint.
Yeah, we like doing that stuff, and we got a lot of stuff to hand out, and obviously it's always more rewarding when you're dealing with kids, get a chance to educate them, and so.
Kids at heart. That was me. I wrote one of those letters. I was excited. I got my picture with Smokey. Thank you, Clint. What a great time. And again, it was nice because it was March, Cheryl, so they could actually pause to do the event too, because sometimes we don't get to see them all summer long.
Exactly. We felt so grateful to have the firefighters, the fire archaeologists, the geologists, and the archaeologists come out from the Elko district office and just really have a good time with the public and talk to them about how we can get ready, just like Clint's saying, how we can get ready for fire season, how we can get ready for our outdoor recreation season, and how we can be good stewards out there when we're out.
Well, and we're on the doorstep of plenty more spring things to do. In fact, you guys never let up. You have animals in the spring plan for tomorrow.
Oh my gosh, we got so much on the schedule for April. Looking forward to seeing a little bit more of the sun. The meadowlarks are out and they are singing, greeting me every morning when I come into the trail center. So that's really fun. And so we're going to start right off tomorrow. We've got a hike. And the hike is going to be Animals in the Spring. It's going to start at 1 p.m. We got Ranger Glenn that's going to be leading that. And he is going to start off with some furs and some pelts. So if you haven't seen some of the local animal furs, you haven't felt them, he's going to start off with those. And then they're going to go on the hike and look for some tracks and see what kind of evidence they can find of animals in spring.
That is great. That's fun for families. It's age appropriate. I mean, toddlers go on these hikes. It's just very low key.
It is great for all ages. Bring the stroller, bring the grandparents, bring whoever you'd like, or just come by yourself, because there will be a group and lots of fun and lots of good information about animals and, of course, the California Trail.
All of these happenings will be at our California Trail Interpretive Center, just 8 miles west of Elko. Head out on Interstate 80 along the old Pioneer Trail. They did not have an interstate highway, but you'll learn more about their stories. And then take the Hunter exit, free admission. And this is just the beginning of a full month of activities if you want to dive right in.
Oh, yeah. So the next Sunday on April 13th at 1 p.m., we're going to have our sewing craft with Brenda, our wonderful sewing volunteer. And she's going to be leading people in making little Easter bunnies. And she's going to do it all on the hand treadle machine. So if you have not used the old-fashioned hand treadle machine that doesn't use electricity, come on out. Brenda will show you how to use it. It's nice and easy when you have a good teacher. And the wonderful thing is that the machine that we use was actually donated by someone in the community. And so it's just a beautiful way to come out and celebrate our community and go home with a cute little Easter bunny.
That'll be April 13th at 1 p.m., followed by something called Planets in Pajamas.
This is going to be a really fun one. We did this last year, and we had a lot of great people come out and really enjoy it. And the tie to pajamas is that April 16th is Wear Pajamas to Work Day. So on April 19th at 8 p.m., we're going to have Planets in Pajamas, and it is going to be a walk through the solar system. So Macy's going to be leading that, and we're going to have the telescopes out, and she has a brand new space scavenger hunt that she is going to be releasing for that event, which will be brand new. And so it will be at night. So we're going to start at 8 p.m. So make sure you bring a jacket, make sure you bring a blanket, maybe something to sit on if you want to sit outside and stare up at the stars. Also, you might want to bring a hot drink. And something that's really cool, it's like a normal tool that almost everyone in Elko has, but bring binoculars. If you have never looked at the moon through binoculars, it is beautiful. It is a really good way to get up close and personal, and probably with a tool that you already have. So bring your snacks, bring your friends, and come take a walk through the night sky with Macy on April 19th at 8 p.m.
And that is a fabulous night sky just across the interstate from the gorgeous Maggie Creek Ranch. You're just going to get a delightful show. And again, all of this is free. Planets in Pajamas, April 19th, beginning at 8 p.m. for all ages. Yep. And then moving on, the paracord bracelet making is back.
Yes, it is. So we've got our wonderful partner, the Nevada Outdoor School, that is going to be leading a program on paracord bracelet making. So this is going to be an outdoor skills workshop, and you will be making stylish bracelets that are also good for survival, and it's good for all skill levels. So if you've got littles, bring them. If you've got mediums, bring them. If you got the teens, bring them. They can lead it, right? They already know how to do this stuff. And if you're an adult, you're also welcome to come. And I don't know if you're familiar with paracord bracelets, but they're colorful, they're fun, and if you need a shoestring in a pinch, or if you need something to hang your bear bag, or something to help hold up your tent, you can always pull it apart and then use it for survival. So it is a fun, stylish survival tool you can make.
And I love, in case someone listening doesn't know where paracord came from, this is the type of material used in parachutes, the cords that connect the parachute to the literal backpack.
Yeah, and they are rated to hold a certain amount of weight. So these aren't, like child's toys. These are actual survival tools that you can use in a survival situation to either fix things, save yourself, whatever you need to do. Tie your shoes. Sometimes that seems like a survival situation.
Definitely. And this is free too.
Absolutely. All the materials and all the expertise is provided.
Cheryl, that's great. So that takes us up to April 25th. And again, that's 1 p.m. Most of the events are offered at 1 o'clock, but you can go out anytime because have you launched spring summer hours yet? What are your hours?
So that is a really good question, Lori. We are actually going to be having to stick with our winter hours this summer. So we are going to stay closed on Monday and Tuesday, and we will be open Wednesday through Sunday, 8:30 in the morning until 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
It's a great place, though, to take your coffee, as you said, go on a little hike, hear the meadowlarks, starting at 8:30 in the morning, and then enjoy whether the exhibits are outdoors. I was noticing when I was there for Junior Ranger Day, how many more things have been added outside, Cheryl?
Oh my gosh, and they're just about to get better. So we've got most of our wagons up in their little barn for the winter, and we're just about to bring them all down, add the canvases, get all the good stuff out. So that's just the beginning. Give us a few more weeks. We need to make sure the snow is done before we get those canvases out. But in a couple more weeks, we'll have all the wagons out, the canvases. It'll be all the Pioneer full glory.
And sometimes you're lucky enough to have some Native American shelter, right?
Yes, so we do normally have a Wiki Up Village or Sage Hut Village, depending on what you like to call them. And we've got some volunteer groups that are going to come in and help us rebuild those. So those will be rebuilt and ready to be looked at, checked out, just in time for trail days.
Yay! And here we are. It's the perfect time and place to talk about California Trail Days at the California Trail Interpretive Center. Do tell us, because it's 2 days of exciting events with amazing guests who are coming great distances just to be here.
Oh my gosh, so excited. It's going to be such a great Trail Days event this year. As you all know, this is the biggest event of the year for the California Trail Center. And what it does is it celebrates when we opened in 2012, which was also in June. So a celebration of our opening, a celebration of pioneer life, pioneer experience, also a celebration of Native American culture, Native American experience, and just a fun time to come out and see your neighbors, see what's new out on the trail. And we've got some really amazing speakers this year.
Great. Well, I'll let you talk about, and she is on the poster, so it's official.
It's official.
Okay. So tell us about Samantha Sorkia, or I'm so sorry, Samantha.
She's very forgiving.
Yes.
I understand Samantha's a very nice, forgiving person. So it's Samantha Szorka. She's also known as Sagebrush Sam.
Perfect.
And she is a discovery long rider. So what she does is she goes out and she rides the original trails with just her horse and just her dog. So 30-day trail rides, and she does this all over the Western U.S., and she has done it on the California Trail, parts of the California Trail. And you can find her on Instagram and on Facebook at Nevada Discovery Ride if you want to check out what the hubbub is. But she's an amazing woman, an amazing person, and an amazing horseman. And she's kind of Nevada famous. So the reason I know about her is she happened to be in our lobby at the center. And while we were talking, there was a woman kind of standing on the side, just like stepping from foot to foot, just waiting to get her chance. And as soon as I stepped away from Samantha, this woman walked up and said, "Oh my gosh, you're famous. I know you." And so Samantha's apparently famous in horse circles for being a long rider, and she's got quite a fan following. So we're very excited to have her as our keynote speaker, and she will be speaking both on Saturday the 7th and Sunday the 8th. We're still working out the times and stuff, so you can check out our website for that, but she will be speaking at least twice, both on Saturday and on Sunday.
That is so exciting. Sagebrush Sam of Nevada Discovery Ride is going to be here in Elko for California Trail Days, June 7th and 8th. All of this, everything we're talking about, is offered free of charge. It's a way to preserve our history, to help our up-and-coming generation care about the culture and history of the region. As you mentioned, Cheryl, there is also a lot of work going on to enhance the experience of the Native American, right? To really emphasize what they were going through as well.
Yes. So, of course, that's part of the museum and part of our themes and part of what we talk about during our programming. But we also are working on enhancements in the museum. So we've got one right now that we're working on with the Stewart Indian School to give full biographies of that full graduating class of 1901, which is so amazing and important. And then I've got a few other enhancements up my sleeve that I'm working on, Lori, that I'm not quite ready to announce, but that we are working on. And then, of course, we will have Native American basket weaving going on during Trail Days. So you'll be able to come in and see firsthand how the women of those amazing tribes use those skills to build baskets that are not just beautiful, but super useful.
Mm-hmm. They took care of their kids and babies. They use baskets, basketry, and a lot of that. Of course, food storage and transportation, even cooking. You can cook in a basket.
That is so amazing. I love that story. So if you don't know how to cook in a hand-woven basket, you need to come out to Trail Days and we'll show you how it works.
Yep, that's where I saw it. So it has stuck with me ever since. Axe throwing, archery, wagon rides. You're going to have something called Experience a Day in the Lives of Natives and Pioneers, right? That's the whole thing?
Yeah, so we're going to have archaeologists and natives both down in our Wickiup village, also in the museum. And so you'll be able to experience what a day in their life would be like and some of the skills that they would have to have, some of the foods that they would be gathering, how they would prepare them, things like that. So there'll be lots of things to experience and lots of cool things to look at.
So remember, June 7th and 8th, 2 full days of a variety of activities. Sagebrush Sam of Nevada Discovery Ride will be a special guest. She'll be speaking both days. The center is located 8 miles west of Elko. Take the Hunter exit. It'll be Saturday from 10 to 4, Sunday 10 to 3. So those 2 days are the days to invite all your friends and family to come to Elko. Don't plan any trips out of town that weekend. Make sure you're inviting people to come for that weekend.
Exactly. And we scheduled it so we're right at the end of the mining expo. So if you've already got friends in town for that, they can stay another day or two and spend the day out with us. And I wanted to mention that we have a couple of presenters that are coming that this will be their last time presenting. And so if you love the people that come, you might want to come out this year just so that you can tell them thank you, tell them how much you appreciated the information and the things that they shared, because it's going to be some of our folks probably last time giving the presentation.
Oh, well, we'll talk more about that, of course, as the date draws near. But I guess with every, and I know that the folks will be taking away lots of memories, and with every moving on, there's a chance for people to move in. And so anybody listening who is interested in history, if you want to help out, volunteer, right? There's a great opportunity.
Absolutely. We're always looking for volunteers, and especially for a big event like Trail Days, it's nice to have more volunteers. So if you're interested, just give us a call, reach out to us, and we'd love to have you participate in some way.
Cheryl, thank you so much. I just can't tell you how much we appreciate all the things you're doing. Hopefully everything's going well at California Trail Interpretive Center, right?
Absolutely. We are just about to get super busy for field trips. So April and May is going to be our big field trips. Sometimes we'll have 90 kids in the center all at once, moving them through the activity stations. Clint just looked a little scared for a second. I don't blame you. But it's always so much fun to have the kids out. But yeah, we're just about to get real busy and we're excited.
All right. Thanks, Cheryl. You can find all this information and more online, CaliforniaTrailInterpretiveCenter.org. Check out that website. Also, you have a great social media presence as well. Cheryl, thank you. We appreciate the visit.
Oh, thank you so much, Lori. It's always a pleasure. And thanks again for coming out to our Junior Ranger Day. It was so fun having you.
It was great. And I'll be back for Trail Days, that's for sure, June 7th and 8th. And we'll be talking more about it right here on Elko's favorite radio station. It's KELK and today's Elko Live featuring our guest, Clint Mothershead from Elko District BLM, talking about fire prevention and awareness. And of course, Cheryl Miller from the California Trail Interpretive Center. Thanks, listeners, for joining us today.